Hello and welcome to the Chattercade podcast, where we break down and review movies, TV shows, occasionally games, and talk about random other crap every now and again. But most of the reviews. I'm your host, Drinking Thomas Hughes. I have the lovely Hayden, aka Alexa, with me here. Because today we're carrying on with our little TV movie situation. And rounding out the month of August, our last kiddie film, where we go a bit more adult. With horror
your stuff.
And no, we have two more kiddie films, family-friendly films to go after my little change around.
My Little Pony.
But these last ones I've dedicated for you to keep you happy. So yes, today we are going to be doing the second Ben 10 movie, which is of course Ben 10: Alien Swarm.
Set, of course, during the Alien Force.
Fucking nerd.
I'll say the exact same thing to you when we do the next ones.
Touché. Yes, it's set during the Alien Force time. Well, an alternate universe version of Alien Force.
The thing is, unlike with the original, obviously with Against Time, where it's stated the alternate universe in Ultimate Alien, this one it's not sure, because there's some different things in the film. However, some of the things that happen in the film get mentioned. Obviously, Elena comes back in that episode, and the whole showdown between Ben and the Queen gets mentioned. But in that episode, it's more, that was a decoy Queen. The real one was in Elena.
I like to think that this all did happen in that universe. It was just differently.
My thing
occurred.
is,
my guess is
this is a different
still
take on.
Technically the other universe. It's just that it did also happen because most things tend to happen in the same universe, just differently. So my guess is it did destroy the Queen in this, and it's just in that universe where they didn't.
Yeah, this is a parallel universe.
Yeah, just like Redskins time.
Yeah, like whereas we're like what we'd see is instead of the big flashy light end where they defeat the Queen, maybe it's something a little different. Whereas it looked like that was the Queen, but it was a fake one.
Yeah. But anyway, this is a much better movie than the last one. Its special effects are a lot better. It does a good job of obviously utilising a lot of darkness to hide the special effects, but not just that. It's got the bigger budget because according to the internet, it had like a $40 million budget, which obviously they put more probably into the special effects. And obviously, difference to the other one, obviously it's kid actors, where these a bit more adult actors, so they have to pay them a bit more.
A bit more mature, so they can lead the scene more.
And obviously, this is a lot more grittier. It's still a PG.
Oh yeah,
still a PG, but its tonage in terms of how it's shot
a lot more edgy.
Is a lot more edgier, a lot more grittier. And
there's still comedy in it.
Yeah, it's still basically.
But it's not like in the previous films. The music's very like Yeah,
it's very like grown-up music.
This is more rock.
That's what I mean. This one's got a lot more grown-up music rather than just like
more teenage music.
Yeah, rather than just like the run-of-the-mill like what you might hear in Ben 10 type music.
Yeah.
But obviously this one's had just now an opening like that last one, which is upsetting.
Yeah, but to be fair, Alien Force
you just have the music.
It's
do doesn't have this. But I mean, it would have been cool to still have that. That would have been pretty cool. But obviously, we don't get it, sadly. But yeah, it's a lot better. It's not still a massive like, oh my god, this movie's a must see.
Still got some flaws like
Max
and the fact that it's not Kate Nanomech. There's only 2 transformations. That's like
on the actual DVD cover.
Yeah. Let's see, Big Chill and Humongosaur. Ironically, I've only got 3 of these, and I've got both of them that's in the film, and Goop,
who's not in the movie,
which would have been fun. I would have loved to see Goop.
Yeah.
Oh, the most confusing alien of all. Like, how does that anti-gravity device, which is just a metal thing, go under a tiny little bit of door or something?
We don't question these sort of things.
What happens to the bat?
But yeah, a lot of this kind of reminds me of other films, like a lot was in it. I mean, the nanotech thing, obviously the guy. It reminds me of Big Hero 6. Because obviously they have the little fucking creatures, don't they? The little fucking nanotech in there. You haven't never watched Big Hero 6, have you? Oh, for fuck's sake. Yes, in Big Hero 6 there's a guy that controls little device, obviously nanobots that make swarms, which reminds me of this heavily. And he's also in like some sort of disguise in that it's a kabuki mask. Since obviously he's got a very obviously Japanese theme, whereas this is more a trench coat. Possibly could be a serial flasher than the canals or something.
Could be.
But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, and also the balls with the spikes. It kind of reminds me of the fucking. Obviously, it's a picture of Indiana Jones with the roll on the ball, and also battleships with Liam Neeson and the aliens shoot like massive like spinny like fucking blade type balls. It kind of reminds me of that a bit. There's a lot of like things that are very similar. I've seen other things years later, which I watch just and go, oh, this reminds me of that. It reminds me of this, that, this, that. But yeah. It's still definitely an improved movie. As I say, it's not a masterpiece, but it's still above the last one. And of all the 4 straight to like TV live action adaptions, I was gonna say it's TV movies, but that can descend into that. But I'm not counting them because they're not live action adaptions; they're adaptions of books rather than adaptions of
an animated show,
of an actual show. Yeah. Of the 4 we've seen across the past 2 years, this is probably the best one, hands down.
Definitely.
Obviously the big flaw for me is obviously I'm not a big fan of Max in this compared to who he was in the last one.
Max doesn't feel like Max. I mean, it feels like a brand new character that they've introduced and just said is Max. And there's some things like it would have been nice to have seen Julie.
It would have,
that would have clashed with her being the love interest, even though there's not really anything happening. But it would have been nice to have seen Julie. Like maybe even that random girl they show there's that Asian girl in the garage. That could have been Julie.
Oh, the one who speaks to him.
Yeah, but then you see there's someone called Molly.
So you got Alien Force, which is what it's adapted from.
Yeah.
Then obviously you got its follow-up series, Ultimate Alien, which if you actually bought the DVD, which is what I did when it first came out.
Yeah.
You actually got the first ever episode of Ultimate Alien as an exclusive look.
That's cool.
Like, I'm pretty certain it didn't even come out anywhere yet. It was like, you buy this, you can watch the first ever episode.
That's really cool.
I did that as like a promotional thing with it. So there's 2 discs in there. Before they release, obviously, the actual proper thing.
So you'd be like, oh shit, secret's out. Who's this guy called Greg?
But yeah, there's a lot of really cool things. Obviously, Kevin's car, which obviously we got in the last time to mention Max's RV, which was perfectly recreated. This, you've got Kevin's car, which is perfectly done. And you've obviously got the introduction of Ben's car, which you get in Ultimate Alien. Obviously, as you said, there's a few differences with the design of it.
And only like one slight thing. I think like there's the green stripe at the back, also at the front as well.
Yeah, I remember that.
Obviously, X.
Yeah. There's obviously a lot of things that basically are ripped straight from the source material and done properly without the special effects, like an actual physical thing. Obviously, you got his jacket, which looks really good.
Yeah, jacket's brilliant.
Obviously, this time around, you actually have Gwen using magic. She's
I like it's coloured as the manor as well, pink.
Obviously, she's played by the actress who was in Until Dawn. Obviously, you got Kevin who's in this now.
Even see his powers.
And you get to see his powers. The only thing I don't like is when he first transforms and his voice changes.
Yes.
And it's more like...
I think that's because there are, in the early scenes of all Alien Force, his voice does have a bit of a filter to it, and then they just scrap it.
And so it's not heavy filtered though. But compared to that, that's like,
there's hints of it.
That's like fully like, I'm gonna get you now, turn. It's like that rather than like his normal voice. It's like that. It's like, obviously he's probably the more weaker side of the special effects because it's not like
what it is though.
Also, I mean, it's like it's a human basically having like a filter over it, so that's gonna be the weak point.
I mean, you've seen obviously, in Agent Shield when they dealt with Rubber Man.
Yeah,
he was with the TV, with the budget and
so a lot of the more budget this time went into its 2 aliens, obviously Humongous Saw and Big Chill, which look amazing. Obviously, Nanomech got a bit of budget because obviously his whole sequences are fully CG sequences.
But of course, this is when we see Nanomech. So
yeah, this is introduction into the universe because it wasn't until
in Ultimate Alien.
Was it Ultimate Alien? That
you don't really see him in Alien Force. I think the first time you see him is that game episode when he makes his own video, gets his own video game.
Oh yeah,
but it's not really. They were using him, and they only used Nanomech because it was too small for them to capture.
Yeah, I know.
Same can be said for Way Big. But...
I know what you're on about. Obviously, the other difference you pointed out in this is obviously Humongousaur doesn't grow big when he transforms.
Just armored.
He just armors up, which, as you said, it kind of makes sense because he grows really
60 feet tall.
So that makes sense to why they wouldn't do that, because it's kind of be a bit OP fighting these little balls.
Yeah, these little tiny balls.
You just squish. So it kind of just makes sense that
it'd be hard as well because they'd have to zoom out.
Yeah.
And...
Whereas these are more close-up shots of him just punching stuff and throwing Kevin's car.
But at least they still address it.
Not my car!
But it's like in Omniverse, their Humongousaur doesn't even grow. It's always just the base form.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bit shit.
They never grow.
But yeah, it's a pretty cool adaptation. Obviously, I remember when this first came out. Did I watch it on the TV first, or was it the DVD? I can't remember if I watched it on TV first, or this was my first look at it. Was when it came out on DVD. So obviously, I went out and actually brought this from a shop. I watched it on TV. From a shop, I went out and brought it. I think it was Asda.
Probably.
I think I went all the way to Asda, which is not close by to me, just to pick this up, because I was like, yes. Obviously, this is... Yeah, I used to watch the original series a lot, but obviously it was when it went to Alien Force that I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. There's a lot more to that, which I really enjoyed. And obviously I never got too far into Ultimate Alien, but there's a lot to it that I really liked.
Me, same. Ultimate Alien's my favourite series of them all.
So there's a lot more... there's a lot more grittiness to them, which is what they transition into this movie, which... works heavily.
Yeah, because obviously the first series of Alien Force is the most darkest it's been, because Grandpa Max is presumed dead. This is more, I'm guessing, around the time of Series 4. The last series, because obviously this is when Grandpa Max is back, and he's more into this universe instead of just having the them as helpers in Series 2. Around that time, I'd say. Not probably before the finale, when that goes boom.
And yes, the Ultimatrix.
Which, as Adam says, is a cheap knockoff.
But yeah, it's definitely a worthwhile adaptation to see. And as I say, of all the TV ones I can think of off the top of my head, it is probably one of the better ones because it's got a great cast. It's got decent special effects. And it pretty much sticks to its source material pretty good.
Definitely.
I mean, even the transformation sequences look pretty good in this. Like, they're not drawn out like they were in the first one. Because I would say the first one, they tried to match the actual show like to the wire, which they didn't need to do heavily. And this one shows they didn't need to with the whole his whole big chill transformation. Yeah, him running.
He's more, and then just jumping like into Omniverse. The light.
Yeah, it's
so in Omniverse, it's more like the exact same morph thing, but with the light going across the morph. This one is it's just the morph.
And obviously, Humongousaur one is an actual spinning, like he just spins and then turns into him. The only one that has the actual full transformation is obviously Nanomech, which makes sense because it's his first time ever. So it makes sense him being like transforming himself to small, and like what the hell's going on, and then his arms turn into machines and like that.
And then that's also to show, because obviously Nanomech isn't actually a proper transformation; it's an amalgamation of him and the chips. It's a brand new species. It makes sense. It's the human and him converting into
like Ben Wolf does in the original series, where it slowly transforms him from human into a wolf.
Because that was the first time the Omnitrix actually got activated the absorption function. Obviously, what they're called? The mummy, the werewolf, and the Frankenstein and Ghost Freak. They're called something. It's from a different galaxy, basically. They do have a name. Can't remember it now.
No idea. But yeah, it's cool that they adapted this one because obviously the first one must have done well enough viewership wise to actually get it. Adaptation. I swear I read somewhere the first one did well critically. Audience wise, it didn't. Audience wise, did pretty bad, but critically, it was actually quite well done. Yeah. So I'm guessing they just saw that as an opportunity, like, oh, critics enjoyed it, fuck it, we'll make another one. And I mean, they apparently, after this one came out, they were going to make a third one, which I'm guessing probably would eventually have been Ultimate Alien, maybe, or just still in the Alien Force universe, but never happened for some reason or other.
I would have loved to see Ultimate Alien.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
Especially because they've got the model for Big Chill and Humongousaur, so that they can the Ultimates there.
Yeah, but they could have also just done
Just aliens.
different aliens.
Like, I would love to have seen
Raph.
some of the Raph.
Raph is a ultimate transformation. And
Maybe one that's if he's ultimate alien, then some of the obviously the ones they introduced, obviously like amphibian, armadillo, energy.
the new ones, like at least one of them, and then at least one maybe ultimate alien. Like one.
You've got to have an ultimate
Just to show off, maybe like
Swampfire. It'd probably be
the
Swampfire because that's the first one he uses.
The Swampfire is the OG Alien Force alien, which is surprising that it's not in this movie.
That's true because
if you look at
the Heat Blast.
If you look at Race Against Time, it used Heat Blast,
Diamond Head.
The first two, and obviously Heat Blast is his OG.
One as well. You see one as well
in the first episode.
Yeah, all three of those in the first.
Of the OG aliens.
Then Grey Matter, because that's a fun little one.
But obviously, Heat Blast is the OG one, and they use him straight away. So it honestly surprised me they didn't use Swampfire instead of Big Chill in that opening scene.
It makes sense because with Humongsaur being the fan favorite. Really,
yeah, I understand that one because Humongsaur was in like the first big story in the first part. Yes. I think it's in part 2. Yeah, Swampfire's in part.
Right at the end against the hybrid.
Yeah, because Swampfire come at the end of part 1.
Yes.
And then Humongsaur's part 2.
No, it's Echo at the end of part 1. No, wait, start of part 2. Yeah, Swampfire is the first transformation he uses.
That's how I remember. Because I remember it's Kevin that he meets.
Yeah, it's near the end.
The Forever Knights, and he transforms into Swampfire. And obviously then the aliens are also there, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, the aliens. And the Forever Knights.
Yes, I said Forever Knights. I already said Forever Knights.
No, but I'm not paying attention to you.
That's what I get. That's what I get for actually talking Ben 10 logic, and then she's like,
I'm Forever Knights. World. I'm in my little world.
Yeah, your nerd world. Goddamn nerd.
I'm going to say the exact same thing to me. It's Power Rangers.
Yeah, but I'm going to listen to you, though. I'm not an arsehole. I listen.
Yeah, but actually, that's not how it goes. This is how it goes. That's what you'll do.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know Power Rangers.
But then that'd be me actually listening to you and responding to you, not just randomly saying Forever Knights again, and then going, I didn't actually hear you say it, even though I said it straight, looking at your face. Forever Knights. You're not the brightest spark. Not the brightest bulb in the box. That's the word I'm after, yeah. Brightest spark. I don't know where I was getting that from. But yeah, it is weird that he wasn't the first one to see. I mean, they could have literally used all three. They could have used Big Chill at some point in it. Like, just found some like spot to put it in, like, randomly, like. And obviously had maybe Swampfire at the start. Or even obviously use Swampfire as like some sort of like when all the bad guys are attacking him at the
FedEx.
Yeah, that weird place. Obviously the delivery place. Like maybe then he turned to Swampfire, and obviously because him being more humanoid, he wouldn't have to be able to hurt him. Like he could use like his vines to help him
having
out.
Like, oh, it's the yellow scan not working.
Yeah, like him quickly turn into it, and then maybe start playing up and turning back and like, no, not now.
Yeah.
That would have been cool because then they could have got away with some iffy CGI there because it's dark, so they could have hidden it behind it. But I think the best, like, I don't know which one I'd say is better looking CGI, Big Chill or Humongsaur. Humongsaur looks really good CG.
Yeah.
But so does Big Chill.
I liked Big Chill. I will say the only problem is it would have been nice to have seen Big Chill go intangible.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just being a big moth that can use ice. And of course, the ghost powers that he has as well. Obviously, the intangibility.
Again, I'm guessing with that it's going to cost too much.
Yeah.
Like,
for what we saw, it's still good.
I'm guessing that's what they took some. Obviously, they took one thing from both of them. They used ones that they wouldn't have to do too much with.
Yeah. The ice mist, and then
if they used Echo, they'd have to have him like split into multiple parts.
Yeah, so Echo would probably be the one Echo.
Yeah, and it just which wouldn't.
Brainstorm would be cool. However, I don't know how it would have worked.
And say it wouldn't fit into this story. I don't think.
Just a big arrogant British crab, or Spanish if you're Omniverse.
I think they just chose the ones that were like the fan favourites and ones that can work into live action without having to do too much with. Obviously, Humongsaur took off his huge, obviously his size and just adding armor up,
Mm.
which isn't too bad. You can let it slide. Obviously,
You
Big
still
Chill
get the...
still can free, still can fly. He just doesn't go
Mm.
intangible, which again, it doesn't really need to.
You could say at that moment Ben wasn't focusing on intangibility.
Neither moments need them to
Mm.
use all their power, so maybe that's how you can look past it.
Mhm.
You can be like, oh, they don't need to use their power. They just like
Yeah.
that.
And he still references Spider Monkey.
Yeah,
So
because
you know-
for some reason he's first like want to shout like, "Come on, Spider Monkey!"
Makes sense, 'cause obviously he's more jumping about.
The thing is, that would have been called up there to reference Swampfire. If they weren't going to use the OG, that would have been the call, like Swampfire it is, and then hit him with like, Big
Or like
Chill.
you see Swampfire's image
Yeah.
and like haha, and then it's chill. Not again, because obviously there's a big thing.
Well, I can make this work.
Yeah,
because obviously that one, the Alien Force Storm, when they introduced that idea of kind of change the wrong ones constantly.
yes, especially after he breaks the alien. Obviously, when
'cause
they hack into the watch.
in the first series, whenever he chose like one he chose, that's pretty much all. I think there's probably like a couple of times that it
there
wasn't.
are a lot of times where it is the wrong transformation,
But most of the time, it's the correct transformation. Whereas Alien Force,
it
I
happens.
think there's quite a few.
Whenever Ben breaks a watch, that's when it tends to mess up. And in Alien Force, there is a time when they hack the watch. After that, it's pretty much or mostly every episode something goes wrong.
I remember it happening in the
breaks.
original series, but it wasn't a
Usually
fuck
with
ton
grey
of time.
matter.
Or when he's trying to go Rip Jaws and he just turns to Stinkfly or something like that.
Yeah.
Rip Jaws because it's wallet.
Stinkfly? Oh well, I could work with this.
Yeah, usually.
Well, see, it's more, as I say, when breaks the watch, that it's kind of heavily constant fuck up
Because
transformations.
little kids always going slamming against stuff.
Which obviously in this it shows obviously it's wrong transformation. It's more because the watch is getting fucked by the nanobots.
Yeah,
The chips are basically fucking with the whole system, and then it's like,
more like I think it's the watch trying to scan them.
yeah,
Because they're not a proper life form, it's having trouble scanning them.
that and because there's that many of them, it's trying to fucking like lock onto at least one.
Because you do see a lot of times whenever there's a new like uncatalogued DNA, it does mess up and it wants it to like them to capture it. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why. And at the end, it's fully worked out how to make the transformation work.
Yeah, it's been slowly
Based on that.
basically over the course of the movie, slowly bring it all together to create its own like version of it. That's what I like to think of it. It's basically it's locked onto it. And it's just there trying to build something.
It's found the only way to make the
Trying to
DNA
build
viable.
It's trying to build something from it. It's slowly 3D printing it into obviously the Omnitrix, and at the end when it's finally built it, it's like, okay, now you can turn.
I just feel like every time he's trying to do it, but the fail-safes stopping him from doing it because it would have probably corrupted his DNA maybe. Because there are fail-safes in the Omnitrix. Maybe like it's going for a different transformation, but won't let him do it until it's create a scenario where it seems to work.
Until it's create a full humanoid like creature that he could actually turn into.
That's something that's viable.
Yeah. It's probably literally it probably had it something. It was just that it wasn't working. It was there still building it. So it was just like, well, you can't turn yet. I'm still building it. I've only built the fucking legs. Give me a second, kid. Here, fucking use Humongosaur. That's what I mean. I'm surprised they didn't. Obviously, I know they're in Big Chill because it's humanoid. It's probably a bit easier. But that's why I was surprised they didn't go with Swampfire, because Swampfire is humanoid in design, so I'm surprised they didn't. Obviously, Goop would be a bit awkward with the whole.
Goop's very, very.
That's probably why they wouldn't go for that. Obviously, Alien X is Alien X. They're not really going to use.
We don't use Alien X because that's just either too OP or just stand the whole time and go.
OG, yeah.
Until they're fucking debated.
The Spider Monkey, it's more the fur probably with that. It's probably going to fuck it a bit.
Probably be the same as like
Walmart.
Whereas obviously both Big Chill and Humans are very like smooth skinned. I think other ones would be like.
I remember his first 10 ones. Obviously, we've already said that was the Brainstorm. Which I'm guessing maybe they didn't use that just because of the fact the brain to the brain.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they didn't use it.
Lightning's probably very
awkward. Whereas they can get away with Humongous it's more just punch, and Big Show's just a bit of a
ice effect.
Yeah. So that's not too fucking over the top.
Yeah. Jet Ray.
Oh yeah, Jet Ray.
The design's quite.
I'm guessing because how fast he is as well. That's going to fuck
quite
with
fast. Laser eyes.
I'm guessing there's too much there. Whereas Big Show's not that quick. So it's literally just Not too bad.
Yeah.
I used to have a figure of Jet Ray.
Hmm.
I used to have the figure of it. I'm trying to remember. So Humongous Jet Ray, Spider Monkey, Echo, Big Chill, Brainstorm,
Alien X.
Alien X, Goop.
Mm-hmm.
2 more.
Chromosome.
Chromostone. Yes, Chromostone. I'm guessing that maybe didn't go with that one again because obviously we've already had Diamond
Also,
Head.
I think his powers would look too similar to Gwen's.
Yeah. One more. Who's the other one?
Oh, I can't think of it. I should be able to think of it.
The
My
10th
thing.
one?
It's my thing. Why can't I think of it?
It's going to bug me if I don't Google that. Spider Monkey have done that.
Yeah.
Then.
How come I don't know it?
Um,
Why?
Force. I'm not even spelling Force. I put Benton Alien Dwarfs.
Brain work.
Oh, it automatically took me to Benton Alien Force Aliens.
Mm.
On the list. Give me the list. That's the thing. Some of these are coming up with obviously the ones that he gets as he goes along.
Yeah.
Which is annoying.
Mm.
I should put Alien Force first 10 aliens.
I can put it on
first
my phone.
10 aliens.
Mm.
Season 1: Swampfire, Echo, Humongous, Jet Ray, Big Joe, Chromostone, Brainstorm, Spider Monkey, Goop, Alien X.
Yeah.
We done 10? Did we say 10? Swampfire,
Did we?
Echo, Humongous, Jet Ray, Big Joe, Chromostone, Brainstorm, Spider Monkey, Goop.
Did we read?
I must have not counted one of them, even though we'd already talking about them.
Oh.
So that is the first 10 aliens he gets.
Yeah. That's why I was struggling to remember him.
Unless I forgot to say Swampfire again.
Maybe that's what. Yeah, maybe.
I definitely said Big Chill. I definitely said Humongous. So maybe I just forgot to say Swampfire again. So yeah,
True.
so basically we're right.
Mm.
We'd already named all 10. Also, the image was fucking me up because there's a picture of I think it was Upchuck.
Mm.
Is it Upchuck?
Upchuck is
The little green fella.
Which one? Yeah, which one though? Because there's two. There's the Merc and the Perk.
The dark green one.
The dark green one is the one from Alien Force.
Yeah, that one. That's what I remember.
Yeah, where there's the
also,
the more gummy bear looking one.
And there was also a picture of Way Big.
Yeah.
Cannonbolt and Diamond Head. There's pictures of them as well. It was all confusing. I was like, shit, which one? I know it's not Diamond Head because I know when they get them. Because I remember the episode and being like, oh my god, it's amazing. He blows Chromostone blown up and turned into Diamond Head. Because, you know, you're in trouble, Vilgax.
Way Big.
I've had a lot of practice with this one. And obviously Way Big was also an episode, wasn't it?
It was the final of the first series.
Yeah.
Because he uses it again. So he gets Cannonball back again, and Way Big.
Yeah.
And Upchuck. All three of those from the finale of the first series.
Yeah.
Or second series, actually. Yeah, because second series is... Yeah, I remember. That's the big...
Come on, nerd. Get it together. Get the fucking right details.
Because the end of the first series is Alien X. And the second series, where you get the hybrid big fight. And he's Webbing against the gate. The gate opens, but tries to destroy the gate, but gets electrocuted.
But yeah,
so we got them right.
Yeah, we got them right. We got all 10 in the end. But eventually, you know, 10 doesn't matter anyway because he gets.
Yeah, he's got.
Oh no, I've got base 10 again. Hold on, let me get another fucking A mini afterwards.
Yep, I mean literally.
And Omniverse is like fuck 10.
70 something.
Let's go fucking all out.
Yeah, overall.
And again,
some of the most useless ones like Walker Trout.
It kind of like goes back to the Ben 10,000 episode when Ben's like, oh, I get 10,000 aliens now. It kind of goes back to that sort of idea of unlimited power, which is kind of a bit OP. Like, I mean, it'd be cool if you had base 10, but if you wanted to like replace one, that's it. It's gone.
Because obviously the original set, it's usually set 10 playlists, usually. But obviously he adds them on to the playlist.
It'd be cool though if it was the idea of it would take it out, but he could get it back. He'd just have to go into the Omnitrix deeply to fucking re-add it in. You know, like if you got your storage is running out, and you gotta fucking delete something, but then you put it back in later by reinstalling it.
And I like the idea of the original sets 10 playlists, but you can add them onto add more onto the playlists. That's what you're doing. It's him just messing with the watch.
70 seems a bit OP.
Some of them are pretty useless.
Yeah, you can get rid of them then. Don't know what it has.
There's one that's literally just a shark with a little baby shark with little feet. Yeah, fuck off. And then there's Mole Stash, which shows you this is a big mole. Even though that one beat Vilgax.
Oh my god.
Past Vilgax before he was all super powered and stuff.
Yeah, but fucking still past Vilgax is fucking still strong.
Also, he did have the weird snot glob, which can extract other DNA onto it, and it made his mustache into heat blast. Like,
that sounds bad. That sounds bad. No wonder I gave up with that series.
He's got a very eccentric British accent.
Oh my god. I'm so glad I gave up Omniverse.
But there are some good episodes. It's a good series. Feedback is fucking amazing. Come on.
Jesus Christ.
You got the feedback.
Oh, but yeah, this is a great example of a live action adaptation. But oh fuck, I'm all over the place now. This is Jesus.
Mustache fucked you up.
Mustache, what the fuck?
Wait to hear the worst.
The only great thing. Oh no, I'm done with that. I'm done with Mustache.
Hey, at least Vilgax in Alien Force gets like basically Infinity Gauntlet, fucking Dark Star? No, Dark Star. No, that's the character from Ben 10. What's the guy? Darkseid.
Yeah.
His laser beam eyes.
Yeah.
He controls.
Yeah, Darkseid. You could have just.
There's so many characters called Dark.
Look behind you.
I don't know. I don't know your things, do I?
Right behind you. Down. Right behind you, underneath. Quite hard as knees.
Oh.
My god, you blind bat. You need your glasses. You need glasses.
No.
Yes.
But yeah.
I can't think of anything else to say about this.
Mm-hmm.
I covered everything. Story's pretty good. Yeah, villains trying to do something. Heroes have to save the day.
Yeah, it's
basic. It's basic. What more do you need? Again, downfall is its runtime. It's an hour long.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked an extra 20 minutes of something.
It's more like a live action special episode.
Yeah, just like the first one, the more fast paced, which does help it out, but I still would want like a proper adaptation, like a good like an hour and a half, 40-minute movie. Like I feel like they could. I mean, if fucking there's a lot of comic books that can make it work.
Yeah.
I mean, How the Duck fuck's sake made it work, even if it was a critically panned film. It made it work as a proper fucking full-length movie.
I would like to see like a one made like MCU and stuff like that kind of thing. That would be fucking amazing.
That
visually,
that could literally do this so well, and hopefully at some point they do. So yeah, do you want to get to the ratings?
Yeah, what's ratings?
Again, obviously Max fucking up Max compared to the last one. I feel like it's just good the fact that we look at the last one, and be like, oh, this guy's cool, and look at this one, and go, what the fuck is this character? Why does he slightly look Asian? Makes no sense unless it's the Omniverse Max.
True.
Or the new Max.
Oh yeah.
Obviously the lack of aliens,
which
is a bit upsetting. At least would have liked one more like, base alien in it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Kevin CGI is a bit iffy. Not heavily iffy, but iffy. And I'm trying to think of one more thing. Did I say runtime?
Yeah.
I'll say runtime again.
Yeah.
All those things do drag it down a bit, but it is an improvement over what I gave last time, which was 6.3. So for this, I'm going to go with 7.5 out of 10, which is, of course, a bronze egg. I don't think it 8 onwards. The only TV movies that go into that category is probably Descendants, just because they're fun. And that have to fully rely on dodgy CG. And their CG actually looks good because it's Disney budget. Whereas this, it's Cartoon Network budget.
Yeah.
And it's / Warner Brothers, and we all know what Warner Brothers are like. So, yeah, so 7.5, I'll give this one.
Again, I haven't started glasses for this one.
Again, I've got no goggles to give you.
Yeah, Alien Force is Ultimate Alien Force. The big UAF is basically the big one I like. I prefer this version than the original series one, but does get hindered by the, like I said, the only having 2 of the
Space aliens.
his aliens original, and then there's a cool introduction to nanomech. It would have been nice to have had a few more, but I think that would have made all of them look
Yeah.
naff. So if they had a higher budget, like imagine this having
I
a
don't know.
big
I feel like
blockbuster budget.
one more alien they could have got away with it still on this
Probably.
budget.
But like, it would be nice to have seen more. Too much. We're saying like a better choice of Max and more aliens. Probably would have at least one more would have added.
One more Swampfire.
Yeah, would have added a little bit more to it. I think.
Yeah.
So I would say 8.
Bang on 8.
Yeah, I think if it had
0.2 higher than last time.
exactly 8 though.
That's what I mean. You were 0.2 higher than last time. Okay. Round to that. Okay, so if that's the case, that gives Ben 10 Alien Swarm. The chat gave overall rating of 7.8. So obviously, it pushes to my side. Silver. I mean, bronze, not silver. You're silver. Whereas last time it pushed to your side. Bronze. And not my side, which is iron. Yeah, 7.8, of course, is the bronze. Fucking up here. Bronze. I'm too warm. It's getting to me. Bronze egg. Okay, MVP. I think you said last time before we even started watching it was like Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin.
Because he definitely feels like Kevin.
He's the most. Like, they're all pretty accurate, but he's the most accurate.
Whoever's bad there is gonna be a one crushed something
Roasted.
babe.
Oh, the bit where like when Grandmaster uses the mana and then comes out. Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. He's
not my car.
He's perfect, Kevin.
Hey, watch the paint job. He's definitely the spot on choice for Kevin. He does that so fucking well. I think I've seen him in one other thing. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, he's definitely the spot on. The actor who plays Kevin. Runner up.
Oh. I'd say Ben.
I want to say we didn't give it to Ben last time.
Yeah.
Sandra and Carl destroyed any chance of him getting
There's
it.
no Sandra and Carl in this one.
So I'd say Ben, yeah, because the actor obviously was in Teen Wolf. Does a pretty good job of playing the adult Ben. Just like the actor in the first one did a good job at playing young Ben. He brings this Ben, that version we've seen in Alien Force, very well to the screen. So yeah, I'd definitely say Ben as the runner-up. I'd agree with that. Okay, favourite moment. For me, it's the Humongousaur introduction. When he just rolls in, stomps, it's just really dark and murky and just roars. That is so fucking good. And then, yeah, this fight scene's not obviously the greatest fight scene and just kicking balls and whatnot. But it's the weight. There's obviously growing all the spikes on his arms to get armor plated, and he's destroying him. Then he's like roaring at the full like breath. That is like spot on for me. That scene.
For me, it's the big chill scene because I generally the first alien we see it, and the fact that it just looks so much better than the obviously Rise Against Time one. Like, and that transition where like he running and as it goes past that beam.
It transitions into Big Chill.
Big Challenge, really good. And I like that look here, how he looks, the ice he uses, brilliant.
So we both went for our sort of preferred aliens from this franchise. Okay, so then question again like last time. What's your favourite alien from the Ben 10 Alien Force era? For me, off the top of my head of knowledge, just because I remember it being really badass when he first turned up, is Diamond Head. The redesigned Diamond Head from Chroma Stone's body. Because I wasn't the biggest Chroma Stone fan.
Really?
I wasn't the biggest fan of Chroma Stone because I think he didn't use him that much, really.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't heavily used, so...
In Chroma Stone's first introduction, he doesn't even use his powers.
Yeah, like, it's not the greatest, like, go-around. Obviously, that series is more Swampfire, Humongousaur, Jet Ray, and Echo, and the others are...
Chroma Stone does get better, like, when he can fly and stuff.
Yeah, but obviously, he's not heavily pushed, and then when they destroy him, I think it's just because of the fact they blow him up, and you're like, did they just kill Ben?
Yeah.
And then it just slowly forms back into a Diamond Head with obviously the purple body, which is normal look. It's just purple.
Purple head with the purple hood as well.
Like that, and it's just like a badass scene when he's just literally like looking at Vilgax like, oh, you're in trouble now, Vilgax. I've had a lot of practice with this one.
And fucking
and it destroys
him.
But that Like, it was a perfect way of bringing back an OG alien.
Definitely.
Because, I mean, they could have brought... Obviously, you would have thought maybe, like, Swamp Fire maybe turn into, like, Heat Blast or something like that. Like,
yeah.
You'd think they'd go for anyone else. Like, obviously, Forearms, maybe, because he's another big original one. But no, they stuck with... Obviously, this went, you know what? Chromostone's not doing too much.
Yeah.
We'll get rid of him in a way that we can bring back an old one, but still keep the hint of the new one.
I think they had the idea of, what if we had this big connection between Chromostone and Diamond Head and doing a whole episode about it? About how, like, he's basically their... Diamond Head is Jesus. Chromostone is pretty much his big one-time creature that exists. It's like their god kind of person. Yeah, it was quite... I liked how they did that.
What's yours then?
Yeah, but for me, even though I love Big Chill, Brainstorm I fucking love. He's funny. But the best has got to be Wrath. You gotta love Wrath.
Which series did Raph get introduced into this?
Series 3?
Was Diamond Head introduced before Raph?
Yeah.
The Diamond Head series 2, isn't it?
Yes.
I remember that.
Wait, no, Diamond Head series 3. Series 2 is still a hybrid. It's after the hybrid. It's series 3.
Series 3. So
yes, I think you see Diamond Head before
Raph.
You see Raph, yeah. And Raph is Raph for the entire episode, pretty much.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Kevin Levin.
I think Kevin says it best. Raph's the only alien when you just want to sit back, eat a butt some popcorn, and watch. Because it's just a spectacle. In that one scene where he's fighting Trevor Wright and his phone goes and he goes, "Let me tell you something, go and tell us something."
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
I remember that scene, yeah. That was good, that was.
I think every time you see him, it's just like, it's fucking entertainment. Even in Omniverse, he's funny in Omniverse.
Okay.
Like the one episode where he's stuck speaking Spanish the entire time.
You just find anything else to plug in here.
It's just funny.
I would say which alien do you think was best adapted into this movie, but there's only 2. And you'd probably say Big Chill, and I'd probably say Humongous. Yeah. There's no point in me asking that one. So we don't need any gibberish because we've run our time, we've run our course. Okay. That is that. Have you seen Benton Alien Swarm? If you have, put your comments below and what you thought of it. Have you seen Benton Alien Force?
Which alien would you like to see?
And yes, which alien? Just like you said last time, which alien would you like to see within this movie? Which alien is your favourite from the Benton Alien Force era? And would you? There's a third question here. Like to have seen a movie adaptation of Ultimate Alien?
Yeah.
To round out a trilogy of these.
What aliens would you like to have seen? Like, would you see any of the Andromeda aliens?
And which Ultimate Alien would you like to see? If you only had to choose one, which Ultimate would you have chosen?
What would you pick?
Probably Humongous, because I like when he goes green, he's got guns for arms. That's pretty cool.
I would have picked Ultimate Echo because
you said that earlier on because he's lanky and he's
pretty cool. It's like kind of like an Iron Man, but with like little cool.
It's like a grown. He's just a grown-up Echo.
Yeah, but he can't split.
Yeah, so I mean, he's grown up. He's went for his teenage sprite.
What about Andromeda aliens? What would you say?
Ooh,
I think Energy. I like Energy.
What's that one again?
The Russian radioactive one. You got the big
armadillo. Yeah, I know which one that is. Obviously got
Amphibian.
Amphibian's the first one you see.
Last one. It's Water Hazard. It's the first one you see.
I did like Water Hazard.
There's Galapagos. One that's Terra Spin, the big turtle.
Yes.
The fan. Into magic.
I did like Water Hazard. Even if they did screw him over.
I like Water Hazard.
New adaptions.
Oh, that's technically not. It's complicated. I like Water Hazard.
Yeah, Water Hazard. I'd probably say because that's the first one you see.
But I would like to see Energy because it's funny.
Okay, that is that. Next week we move on to one of mine after a few shuffle rounds of me delaying Jurassic World a bit because we are going to that still, but I'm waiting for the 4K copy to come so I can be like, hey look, that. Plus the 4K copy is going to have the extended edition on, so I'm going to be waiting for that before we do it, so we can talk about the extensions and because obviously we have some slight memory of the original version, so it'd be interesting to see us talk about that. So. Instead of that, obviously that's been pushed till November. So next week we'll be covering something that's beloved to me. But I'm not going to be nostalgia glassed like you, because I still know the faults within them.
I've said the faults.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be like 8 and stuff like that. I'll be less than
I
that.
still like them.
Which is of course Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie from the 90s, not the new Power Rangers which you covered last year. No, the original Power Rangers.
Watch it.
Which technically speaking isn't still the original Power Rangers because it's got Rocky, Aisha, and Adam who aren't the original. Red, black, and yellow. It's obviously Jason, Zach, and Trini. Took me a while to remember. See, I don't have nostalgia goggles here fully. I'm still fucking trying to remember them. I'm not a big original series fan. I prefer some of the later series.
I think obviously Power Rangers, it's very like each one changes.
Yeah,
It's hard to
remember.
remember.
But yeah, so we're going to be covering the original film from I think it came out in '94. So it's an old film. So yeah, and we'll be seeing that when we do that because there's a lot of really dodgy CGI in those.
Hopefully, we won't be dying
of heat
stroke.
So yeah, we'll be doing that next time. So we will see you for that then.
Bye.